God doesn't get a vote, you do. That is why God expects you to cast your vote by election day. Paul explains God's instructions to us. Be a good citizen. All governments are under God. Insofar as there is peace and order, it's God's order. So live responsibly as a citizen. Responsible Christians vote as a part of our call to be the salt that seasons society and the light that illuminates deeds done in darkness. Untold troubles can descend upon a country or an industry when Christians refuse to take their part in the administration and leave it to selfish, self-seeking partisans, so comments William Barclay. The Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. eloquently explains why Christians should vote. The church must be reminded that it is not the master or the servant of the state, but rather the conscience of the state. It must be the guide and the critic of the state, and never its tool. I do not believe any preacher is wise to suggest to you for whom you should vote. There is no way that Jesus would do that. Christians should seek to put into office those who align with their values and the values of God's Word as best as you can understand them. But the minute the church tries to control the government by installing those it claims are God's candidate, that's the moment the government will turn right around and try to control the church, demanding the allegiance that is reserved for God. But that doesn't mean there is not a God-directed obligation to vote for someone who, in your view, will allow the church and society to peacefully coexist and the people to flourish. I can think of very few excuses for not voting which God would accept. The worst possible excuse I hear is, they are all the same, it doesn't matter. Friends, you need only study the history of politics in your own lifetime to know how much every vote matters in determining what happens in your community, your state, your nation, your world. Correct that. God's world. That is why, if you choose not to vote, you had better expect your greeting at the pearly gates to include, "Don't tell me you didn't vote."